Let's just talk about the elephant in the room, right? Um, so Apple is talking about, well, they're not talking about, there's a lot of speculation, there's a lot of rumors, and there's a lot of digging to see if Apple is going to be releasing their mid range smartphone. This article from The Verge is talking about how the Apple Store leaked the 4.7-inch iPhone SE name. So this is one of the first leaks talking about a potential mid-range phone getting released. People have been talking about a successor to the iPhone 8 or the iPhone SE for some time now. But I guess there are other things coming down through the pipeline where they're saying it might be coming out again as soon or getting announced as soon as today or announced as soon as next week. But let's go through the story. I'll read through it, give you my thoughts. Apple's upcoming 4.7-inch iPhone is likely to be announced imminently and looks set to be called the iPhone SE. I do like that name a lot better than them calling it the iPhone 9. I mean, Apple didn't say they were going to call it that, but there was a lot of speculation that it could be called the iPhone SE2 or the iPhone 9. Again, these are rumors. You just got to go through that rumor mill, take it with a grain of salt. Obviously, there's some truth to some of this, but we won't know for sure until it's officially announced. So earlier today, 9 to 5 Mac reported the iPhone SE name, as well as details including that it'll come in white, black, and red color options. So there's actually this one tweet here from Apple Hub, and I think he just made. I mean, this is the iPhone 8, I'm assuming, right? And he just took the colors from the rumors that are here of a black, white, and red model. So if it was up to me, if I was in the market for a phone, I would totally be getting a product red. Red is one of my favorite colors for a phone. I was actually talking about this yesterday. The OnePlus 6, I had a red OnePlus 6, and that was one of my favorite phones. And I would love to have a red iPhone. I never have. And anyway, obviously this is a render. This isn't even the proper font that Apple uses, just somebody kind of mocking it up. But yeah, so the speculation is black, white, and red with storage options or so comes in white, black, and red color options with storage tiers of 64 gigs, 128 gigs, and 256 gigs. The device is expected to come with an A13 processor, which I have been talking about in the past, which really excites me because technically then they are using the latest and greatest processor that you can find right now in the iPhone 11 and iPhone 11 Pro, and they're putting it in a mid-range budget phone or a mid-range budget into that smartphone, essentially a $400. Well, speculation again, we don't know anything for sure, but again, you're pretty much getting an iPhone 8 body exterior with touch ID, so a fingerprint reader. But these are all well established, right? It's not like the iPhone 8 was a horrible phone. I mean, they're still selling it. iPhone 8 had great build quality. The fingerprint reader was equally great. Yes, it has huge bezels, right? No, this picture doesn't have that, but if I were to pull up an iPhone 8, I'll pull that up right now just so you guys can take a look. There's no talk yet about an iPhone SE Plus or anything like that, so we don't know if there's going to be a bigger version, but there's talk about an iPhone SE. I mean, again, you're getting an iPhone 8 exterior with the latest and greatest processor right now for 2020 in this potentially upcoming iPhone SE. The reason that people found this out is because there's a Belkin accessory that was on Apple's website. So it was a screen protector that's selling for $40. Jesus Christ, why would you buy a screen protector for $40? But then Apple eventually removed all mention of the iPhone SE. So if that's not if that's not a clue there that they're trying to hide it or trying not to like make it known, there you go. The new model is said to be similar to the 4.7 iPhone 4.7-inch iPhone 8 released in 2017. When it launches next year, it'll feature an LCD display and, quote, most of the same components as this year's flagship iPhones. The EDN report from April also said that the new iPhone SE, based on the iPhone 8, would ship in early 2020 and feature an LCD display. It added details like a single lens rear camera and 128 gigs of storage. Apple originally used the iPhone SE marketing name for the 4-inch model that uses the iPhone 5S body with the camera and processor from the iPhone 6S. We expect the new model to use the same chip as the iPhone 11, 11 Pro, and 11 Pro Plus. Apple's A13 processor. That's 2 generations up from the A11 Bionic chip inside the iPhone 8. The new iPhone SE will likely be popular with iPhone 6 customers who no longer receive major new software updates. There's a lot of people who are still using older iPhones because they didn't really want to transition into Face ID, probably not even spend that much money. And at a phone like this that's coming up with the potential of it being $399, the big thing for me here is the fact that you're taking a phone and you're using the newest processor in it and you're putting it in less than half the price of what you would buy for an iPhone 11 Pro, right? I mean, yeah, there's the iPhone 11, so you could save money there, but this is kind of a bargain because you're still getting a very, very high-end chipset. The question here, the big question that I have is what camera are they putting in this phone? What camera are they putting in this new potential iPhone SE for 2020? If they put here's my hope is that Apple will put the iPhone 11 camera in this new iPhone SE. Because then think about it. You're going to have an A13 chip with the iPhone 11 main shooter, right? iPhone 11 Pro main shooter. Yes, it's going to be in an iPhone 8 exterior, but you're still going to have Touch ID. You're going to have a really fast processor, and you're going to have probably the best camera that you can buy today. One of the best cameras. I guess I can't say the best because I haven't tested any of the newer phones, but my iPhone 11 Pro camera is great. Just even the main shooter alone. Let's not talk about, the telephoto or the wide or the super wide or ultra wide, whatever the fuck you want to call it. But even the main shooter alone is such a great shooter at a $400 price point. At 400 bucks, most people who are looking for a good phone are looking for one, great performance, two, a great camera. I think those two go hand in hand. And then when you add three, price, and put it at a reasonable, I guess, budget, if you want to say that, because $400 is still a good chunk of change. That's a great deal. In my opinion, that's a great deal. You put that there, and this will be a Pixel 4a killer. I mean, that's what I think. You guys can think whatever, but I mean, I don't know if they're going to put that camera in there. That's the real question, because if they do, I've done camera tests with my iPhone 11 Pro and my Pixel 4 because I have both. And my iPhone 11 Pro, in more instances than not, beats the Pixel 4 in terms of photo quality. It also beats that easily in video quality for the most part. My iPhone 11 Pro at night easily hands the Pixel 4 its ass. And so let me get back to where I'm trying to go with that. So the Pixel 4a is going to come in, again, we don't know for sure, but the Pixel 4a is another mid-range phone priced at the same price point, 400 bucks. So you're going to have a Pixel 4a that comes out at $400, and that's going to have a Snapdragon 700 series chipset, right? So right there, they've already lost in terms of performance, because now you're taking away that Snapdragon 800 series processor and you're putting a lower processor in there. But look at Apple here, who's pricing their iPhone at the same price, and they're still putting the same processor, A13 Bionic chip, that you're getting right now with an iPhone 11 or an iPhone 11 Pro or an iPhone 11 Pro Max, For those that don't know, it's all the same chip. And they're putting it in their budget phone or their mid-range phone. Apple already has them beat there. I mean, and we know pretty much for sure they're putting that A13 chip in there. So no matter how you put it, performance-wise for an iPhone SE, this 2020 iPhone SE, performance-wise, it will already handily beat the Pixel 4a with the chipset alone. With the chipset alone. If you want to talk about camera, right? Because we don't know that, but if they put the iPhone 11 camera in this iPhone SE for 2020, it's game over. I've been saying this for a while now. It's game over. That at that price with the camera and the performance, the Pixel 4a is not the better deal. At that point, I will recommend people to buy the iPhone SE for 2020. I mean, unless someone says to me, well, Jerome, I'm an Android guy. I only use Androids, then yeah, maybe the Pixel 4a, but I probably have to do some research because I feel like at $400, you could probably get a Snapdragon 800. I don't know. Again, that's a different story, but that's kind of how I feel about it. Is there also a 5.5-inch iPhone SE Plus? We don't know. I don't think I've read any reports that talk about a bigger iPhone SE. It looks old, meh. I know. I mean, obviously, you're going to have that crowd that doesn't want a front fingerprint reader. They don't want a home button. They're done with Touch ID. I totally get that. And if that's the case, then that's fine, right? You do have other options. I mean, unless you're looking for them to make a much smaller iPhone 11, right? But I mean, they're trying to take a mid-range market here. They're trying to eat away at what Android is trying to do right now with the Pixel when the Pixel 3a came out, and then all of these other manufacturers making a bunch of light versions of phones. This is the first time though that I am seeing a company take their latest processor and putting it at a $400-ish price range.